Hi, my name is Ommela and the first time I came to Hope was the first day Hope NYC began. I lived in Trinidad all my life, and all I kept hearing about was how wonderful New York was. I was running away. My dad was an alcoholic. He was very abusive, and this was my way out of this situation. This is my way of finding my freedom out of it, and I came to New York for a better life. When I first came to New York, I moved in with my aunt. I stayed here for a while. Then I felt unwanted, like I was a burden to her. Then I went to my brother's place. I stayed here for a while, and I felt like I was a burden to him also. And I had to leave and go back to my aunt. When I went back to my aunt's place, it was like the same thing. I felt like a burden, and I felt unwanted. It's like nobody wanted me. My life was being bounced from home to home, from place to place, from my aunt to my brother, from my brother to my aunt, for 2 years. Then one day my uncle introduced me to a guy. This man made me feel loved. I felt wanted again. I had a home, no more reproach. I felt free. I felt happy for a while. When we moved in together, things changed. He started to be very possessive. I couldn't go anywhere without his permission. No one was allowed to come over to the apartment. I couldn't call anyone. I couldn't go nowhere without him. At the end of the day, when he comes home, I am his punching bag. He will hold me by my hair for no reason. I don't have to say a word. He will hold me by my hair and he will slam me against a wall. He will hold me by my neck and lift me off the ground and choke me till I am passing out. He used to hold me by my hair and drag me. On the 4th of July, I went to Coney Island with some friends who were visiting from Trinidad. I didn't plan to reach home late, but I reached home 11:30. When I walked through the door, he came with a rage and just started punching me all over, and the first thing I could have done was shield myself. And I fell to the floor and he just kept hitting me and hitting me. And the closest thing to his hand was the telephone, and he started hitting me in my face and my head. He broke that and he ran for the rolling pin, and he came back and hit me across my ribs and my head. And I felt like I was passing out. I felt like this was it. I'm going to die. And he ran to get a knife. And when he ran to get a knife, I ran down the stairs. And as I opened the door, there was a cab there. And I ran into the cab. I thank God that cab was there. If that cab was not there, he would have killed me. I would have been dead. I went to my friend's house for shelter. And she encouraged me to call the cops, and I did. The cops told me I need to press charges for what he has done to me, and I did press charges. When I pressed charges, he also pressed charges against me, saying that I have beaten him up. And they arrested both of us because I pressed charges and he pressed charges. When I went to the precinct, they had me handcuffed to a cell. And as I sat there by myself, I felt numb. I felt all feelings leave my body. I couldn't feel anything. I was like, why am I here? I am the victim. I am abused. Why did they arrest me? When I cried out for help, this is not right. And I felt like the little hope I had, it was gone. Like, this is not fair. This is not right. After being arrested, I had nowhere else to go, so I went back with him. But then he continued to abuse me. And this is what I told myself. This is how my life is going to be. There's no way out of it. You have to stick in this because you cannot do better by yourself. You have to stay in this. And eventually I did get pregnant, and I had my daughter, Judith. And during the abuse, I never forsook the Lord. I called upon him. I looked to him. I went to other churches. The same way I went in there, the same way I left. But one day, I was walking on Leffords with Judith. I was pushing her in her stroller, and I saw Pastor Cheryl across the street, and I was calling Cheryl. I was calling out, and I was waving at her and smiling, and she was looking at me like, who is this? And she was waving to, but she didn't know who it was. So when I did meet her, and I took out my tithes and my offering that I saved from the time I came to this country, and I said, the day when I find my pastor, I will give it to them, and I gave it to her. I was so happy I met Pastor Cheryl because I knew her from back home. I was in her youth group. I attended her dad's church. I was so happy I found someone that I knew. Pastor Cheryl became my pastor, and I attended the very first service of Hope NYC. When I first came to Hope, God gave me strength. He gave me hope again to trust Him, to leave my abuser, to trust in Him. While he was saying to me, I cannot live without Him. I cannot make it without Him. I'm a nobody. God said that He is my Father and He will take care of me. He will provide for me. He will take care of Judith and I. I don't have to lean on Him, but I lean on the Lord. I trust the Lord. And since He has been a good father to me, He has been a husband to me, He has made provision for me. He's awesome and He is great. He's everything I always wanted. He gave me back my peace, my trust, and most of all, He gave me back my hope.